utility operators. We will only see one of him in our match today. Lazarus instead going with a more standard operator agent lineup. So for that information, both Brimstone and Omen with those smokes should have quite a bit of utility. Orgless will have a bit more fragment capability. However, Lazarus starting this one out well with already a kill onto its fight. It does push on over. Ivo finding a kill, utilizing that fade ability with that Reyna to sneak out of trouble. Tanaka finding a second already, finding the head of Jet, and just like that, Lazarus, despite some early hiccups, Orgless finding only just one kill, and Lazarus finding the first pistol round. It's very interesting to see Orgless kind of slowly move on towards that A site, utilizing a lot of those fragging operators, fragging agents of Jet and Phoenix, not exactly rushing onto the site in quite the manner that I would have expected. Lazarus, with the Breach as well as the Brimstone, have a ton more of controlling ability. And Orgless really only have those Omen smokes and the Cyber Cages. Jet's smokes, while they have been buffed, don't offer that same amount of area denial as, say, the Omen or Brimstone. So it will be an interesting way for them to play around map control, seeing as they lack quite a bit of that utility. Custom abilities finds the body shot onto Aftermath, bringing back just 50 points of health, finds the, I believe, the body shot onto Jackson as well. However, Jackson finding the kill on towards mid allows them to push on towards B, but Tanaka finding another kill, and Lazarus shutting them down with those SMGs. Orgless looking to find possibly the spike plant. They only had those upgraded pistols and the base pistols from that eco buy, so we will move into the bonus round here. Custom abilities with 3,700 in the bank, as well as that full armor, should be able to buy up a full weapon if needed. However, it looks like Lazarus moving on to a half buy, as Orgless will have the better weapons. Lazarus take a convincing 2-round wins early, and that could be a marker of what's to come on this map. Orgless should have an easier time with this being over towards the attacking side. Jet bringing out the operator could be the thing that they need, but will Zeki finding a kill with the Ghost, not what you want to see, over towards A long, shutting down that aggression and giving them a good look over towards that A site. However, Jet finding a kill on C long with that operator, exactly what Orgless were hoping for with that weapon bought up. However, just a minute left into the round, and it will be a 4-on-4. This does favor Orgless, as they are spreading the defense out even further. But really, Lazarus able to burn so much time, that smoke coming out from Omen on towards A long, denying that push out. And instead, it will look to be an A short push. 3 of their 4 remaining players funneling over towards that area. Jet hovering towards long with the spike, and Omen looking to distract them over towards mid. Well, Zeki finding the early kill on towards Ivo. Will be traded out, but that is information given over towards Lazarus. Damage done over towards Zachary. And the kill onto that roaming Omen on mid is found, and Lazarus have quite the advantage in the 3-on-2 retake. Quite a bit of that utility already burned out. Smokes found out. Zachary finds one. Trade goes over. The Jet is able to push her way over towards short, but that will not get her out of danger, as Seth able to find the kill, and Lazarus finding a 3rd round. This is not a round necessarily that Orgless should have lost, but that early pick by Will Zeki on the Omen on towards long found them quite a bit of room, and Orgless just possibly leaving that one a bit too late. Tanaka has been doing work. They were able to shut him down with that op peak long. However, With Orgless losing that round, the op does go over to that Sova himself, and 5 kills in pretty much 2 rounds as he wasn't able to find anything in the previous round. Could be a showing of what's to come as Orgless now 0-3, not much money in the bank, will be quite a mixed buy with all of them going over towards that mid area, looking to push through the smoke. Jackson, one of the Spectre players, custom abilities, will have a beautiful line of fire, finds 3 in a row. That is exactly what I expected for that round. Custom abilities finding 4 in that round. Seth taken out by the Frenzy, but that will not be that much of an issue as they find 4 alt orbs and custom abilities skyrockets himself to the top point of the map. Orgless just once again looking to get that spike down. Not exactly the buy that I would expect for them, going with the Spectres. Instead, they could have saved some of that money for this round. Zachary will only be on the half armor, only 25 extra points of health for him. So Orgless in a tough position. Custom abilities, once again, finding those opening kills, shutting down that Phoenix. And Lazarus showing, despite having more utility-based operators, they can still frag out. Finding 2 kills, Tanaka with that stolen operator, shutting down the C-long aggression, and Orgless really have no routes in towards this game. In a 3-on-5, we can see them pushing over towards mid. However, their Cypher just lurking in towards their spawn, hoping to save some of these weapons. And with 50 seconds remaining on the clock, just 3 players remaining, and you know that 4 of their players have their ultimate abilities ready. This might be a round that they will look at saving, because all in all, they do not have that much money in the bank. Ivo finding a kill onto Seth will open this mid area up a bit. However, Ivo taking quite a bit of damage in the process, just on 10 points of health, and could be running into the operator of Tanaka. Instead, will find him. With 16 seconds on the clock, they might be able to get this spike down on towards C. Orgless playing this one very patiently, able to get 2 picks, but custom abilities, utilizing that Hellfire, is able to find the kill. But the spike does go down for them. Both of those ultimates coming out, and the remaining players of Orgless stood absolutely no chance. They do burn 2 of the 4 ultimate abilities that Lazarus had. However, Lazarus once again finding the win, finding those kills. And really, once again, Orgless forced to save as not all of their players can even afford rifles. Despite getting 2 kills and the spike down, that might not be a worth it play for them, as we can see their economy will be hurt in these rounds to come. Lazarus now 5-0 in this game. Not what we expected to see, especially with Orgless on the attack. First with this very aggressive lineup. Hopefully they will be able to change that, but will Zeki finding the headshot onto Aftermath. AJ utilizes the ultimate, and that quick fragging ability is able to find an early kill. Ivo shutting down Blackheart on the quick rotate. Will trade this now into a 3-on-3 as Seth, quick on the rotate, will be able to shut down Orgless and put this into a 3-on-3 retake. Lazarus to ult, possibly a bit more useful for this retake. However, AJ with that stolen operator will be able to shut one down. Tanaka not finding any of his enemies with that ultimate now. Just has the operator, not exactly the weapon that you want for a 1-on-3 retake. However, he is making quick work of his enemies, finding the early kill onto AJ, but that will be all he will be able to find. Ivo shuts him down, and Ivo, our standout performer from Orgless, has been playing pretty well. AJ finding 2 needed kills into that round that entry frag onto Will Zeki allowed them to push on towards that A site, utilizing all of her abilities as well as that ultimate to close that distance with him as quick as possible. With Zeki not able to jump away as quick as he might have thought. But Lazarus, with 5 rounds on the board, will be able to keep those that full buy up. But Aftermath once again finding the early pick. AJ finding a kill onto Tanaka, and Lazarus already in a 3-on-5. 3 of their members already over towards that C-long area will mean that Orgless gets an easy plant over towards this A side, and this might be the change in fate that Orgless were looking for. Making those aggressive plays, not feeling it out for picks, instead making decisive action on towards the site, finding those kills and finding those early picks. Lazarus not going a man up as often as they were previously. Orgless will be able to find themselves a second round in all likelihood. Custom abilities trading out the kill, but just now in a post-plant position. This is looking very tough for them. The spike ticked quite some ways. They will look to go for it, smoking out those positions. Seth finds a kill onto AJ, and another on towards Jackson. Zachary is taken down in the smoke, however, the spike being picked down all that long, and Seth just barely caught out by the spike. Will be his 3rd kill of the round on towards himself. But Lazarus keeping this one close, denying Orgless the opportunity to keep those weapons over. And despite losing 2 rounds straight, Lazarus still have money in the bank to buy up. That loss bonus ticking up for them. And Orgless, not too much money in the bank either. Will possibly be broken if Lazarus is able to win this round. We do go live in early smokes on towards mid. AJ finding a kill through the smoke, but Blackheart trading one back on towards Zachary. And Lazarus find mid control early. AJ with a great timed shot through the smoke in towards mid doors, finding the early kill. But Aftermath continuing his good performance, pushing his way up through mid, finding the kill, but Will Zeki, aware of that rotate in progress, takes him out and puts us back into a 3-on-3. All 3 members over towards doors and mid will indicate that this is going to be a mid execute. Blackheart finding that information, does still have the aftershock available. The smoke does go down, but he will be able to find some damage onto players through the smoke. Does give up his location, but Jackson firing off some warning shots as well as they fend off Lazarus. They don't have much map control, but they still have the guns. Tanaka finding a kill onto AJ, trading one back, and now it is into a 2-on-2. The flash does go out, but it does not matter. Orgless are able to find those 2 remaining kills and trade this back into a 5-3 scoreline. Still in the hands of Lazarus, but now the momentum in the hands of Orgless. 2 members kept alive will be able to bolster up that economy. And that is something that you want to see with a map like Haven. Keeping that economy high, making sure that you keep players alive. And Lazarus still able to buy up once again. Tanaka only has the light armor, but will still be able to take these fights. AJ finding one, Ivo finding another, and Orgless have found their stride. 2 kills early into the round. And Jackson utilizing that ultimate ability, finding the locations of all of those enemies. Hellfire does go out, but is not able to deny the plant, as Orgless already able to get one down. Seth finding a kill onto Zachary, perhaps a bit too aggressive, but AJ trading one back onto Tanaka. And that camera from the Cypher spotting one out. Lazarus in a tough 1-2v4 position. Seth finding an early kill onto Aftermath will be a necessary pick, but AJ boosted up with that ability will be able to find a kill, and Jackson routing this one out onto Seth. That rocket not able to do enough damage. And AJ already on top of the scoreboard, 10-8, a great turnaround performance from him, leading his team with so many of those early picks. Great performance with him on that operator. And Lazarus now in a very close game, 5-4. Orgless now finding 4 on the trot. And finally, Lazarus, after buying so many rounds in a row, will have to be forced on the eco. And this will be Orgless's opportunity to pretty much guarantee the tied up rounds. Zachary finding 1 kill, but custom abilities finding the trade frag with that sheriff, utilizing that stim beacon, but Orgless once again keeping that pace up, finding those 3 kills quite quickly and equalizing this up 5-on-5. Quite an expected round to go over towards the side of Orgless, and Lazarus now in a very tough position. Money is running low, only a half armor on Tanaka, and likely a very limited supply of utility on some of these players. They will be full buying out. Tanaka once on the top of the leaderboard for his team, now just in the middle at 8-7. We'll be shifting over towards this A side, so Lazarus shifting the position of their operator. Camera does go out, but it is taken out by that operator. Now they know where that gun is playing from.
Joke's over.
And get a good information as towards that. The joke's over coming out from Phoenix on Orgless. Jackson pushing on towards this B site. Zachary finding a kill onto Blackheart. And Aftermath with that teleport jumping down, finding another kill, but custom abilities trading 1 out onto him, utilizing the stem beacon, pushing himself with that higher rate of fire on towards the B site. But Lazarus still in a beneficial position. Those flashbangs so good from him, finding 3 kills into this round. Ivo wrapping this one up, and Lazarus now on the back seat as Orgless finds their first round advantage, find themselves in the driver's seat of this match. This is still a very good scoreline for Lazarus. As I said earlier before this game started, this map does tend to be a bit more attacker-sided, with the defenders having to split between all 3 of these sites. However, Lazarus will have issues with, I guess, a bit of their morale, as they have lost now 6 rounds in a row. Will take quite a bit of mental fortitude from them in order to not go on tilt, maintain a good play from them. That Sova ultimate does come out, does not find much damage, finds 1 shot on towards the Cypher, and it looks like a garage to see it push. Aftermath finding a kill onto custom abilities, smoking off that CT position. And Jet still with control over towards mid, battling it out with Raze. Will allow the defenders to get that. Allow the attackers to get the spike down over towards C. Tanaka with the Guardian finding a battle versus AJ, but it is now on to a 4-on-4. Orgless with a good handle on towards this C site. Ivo with the ultimate, the Empress coming out, will find 2 kills on towards that CT position, still with it available. Will look for the 3rd kill onto Seth, and he will find it. Orgless now 7-5 with the half. Great recovery from them. 5 rounds in a row for Lazarus. A great show for them on that attacking side. However, Orgless really able to pull this one back, and a great bit of mental fortitude for them, able to get themselves back in the game despite going down so many rounds early into this game. And Lazarus now, both teams actually, in a very good position. Although Orgless, you'd have to think, is in a better position due to that momentum with those so many rounds in a row. Especially with those rounds late in that half being pretty one-sided, with Orgless really just steamrolling them with very aggressive plays. Once again, Orgless does get incredibly aggressive. 3 men pushing up through long, and Ivo finding a kill already. A wallbang through on a long. Custom abilities able to trade 1 back onto Aftermath over towards the aggressive push from C long, but map control still handily in the hand. handily in the control of Orgless. Lazarus now are making a dedicated push on towards this C site. All 4 players pushing over through Garage, but will be flashed out by Zachary Tanaka, finding a kill. Finding his head taken off, but Seth pulling those paint shells out and taking a kill onto Zachary. Seth fragging out, finds 2 kills and able to get the spike down. Lazarus finding a good 3 men alive against Orgless in this first round. Great stuff from them to push this closer to an equal scoreline. And Orgless, despite finding the early kill, overextending just a bit too much. Instead of just falling back on towards the sites, we have a bit of an issue with the scoreboard, custom abilities just versus Ivo, but they are the leading players on their teams respectively. The Brimstone putting up so much work and will be playing with that Stinger, a very light buy coming out from them. Spectres and Stingers should ensure them the round win, but Orgless once again playing extremely aggressively. All 5 members lurking over towards this grass area. Tanaka smoked off towards mid, but Lazarus will just ignore that entirely, instead pushing towards the A site, able to get the spike down with absolutely no resistance in Orgless. Now with inferior weaponry into a 5-on-4, with Wilczeki finding a kill onto Aftermath. Wilczeki finding 3 kills right in a row with the Ghost. Not exactly the weapon that you would think for those kills. Instead, will shut down that retake opportunity. AJ taken out by Blackheart, stealing the man's ace. Quad kill in the round. And Wilczeki shutting down that long aggression. Double peeking through the Phoenix Flash. I expected both of the players from Lazarus to go down. Orgless playing in a group, but somehow Wilczeki just finding those kills, and excellent at that. Shut down any hope of a retake and kept quite a few more weapons into that round. Orgless's Omen, a bit of an interesting play to peek with the shorty. AJ missing that operator shot, not grazing any of the members of Lazarus, does take quite a bit of damage. The shield removed from him, but does escape alive. Lazarus now aware of that enemy weaponry and do have quite a meaty buy themselves. They will look to push on towards the C site, not spreading that much map control. They will have all of their players prepping their abilities. Wilczeki dropping the smoke to push through and is dropping the blind very shortly. The breach flash is able to catch Aftermath out, will find him, catches him red-handed, and Orgless are now into a 4-on-5 retake scenario. Lazarus playing that execute absolutely textbook. Will be rotating back on towards long, utilizing that operator, very effective in defensive positions due to how slow it is on peaking. And utilizing that advantage in utility, Orgless with only 1 operator that allows them to smoke off that defuse, meaning that Orgless will instead rotate all of their members over towards this A site to save their weaponry, and Lazarus will once again find a round lead as they go on to the attacking side. 3 rounds on the trot. The bonus round lost for Lazarus, lost for Orgless, and Zachary taken out despite being in quite a good lurking position for him. Lazarus now 8-7. A great recovery from them after losing 7 rounds in a row on that defense side. And the tides have turned for them. Orgless have shown their mental fortitude as they were able to come back after 5 rounds in a row for Lazarus. However, now on the defense side, definitely the more tricky for them, especially with that lack of utility. Lazarus just showing how well they can utilize those smokes. And Orgless now not able to rush them as well. Although AJ finding an early pick with that operator, he was so clutch and he was quite the linchpin for their attacks on the attacking side, but custom abilities shutting down those players and allowing them to get on towards site. That Molotov taking him out. Spike does go down. Jackson finding some information over towards Heaven. Seth taking one out. Blackheart trading one back, and it is now onto a 1-on-2. Blackheart finding that information, but is taken very low. Blackheart finding the CC on towards the Phoenix, and despite being partially blinded, will be able to take him out with that shock effect on towards Phoenix, slowing down his rate of fire and making his screen all blurry. Lazarus now comfortably in the lead, 9-7. Orgless, losing all of their members in that previous round, will be in a very tough economic position. I am not able to see all of their scores, but with some of them buying up operators and weapons such as Vandals in those previous rounds, it will be on a very tough position. But Ivo buying up a Bulldog and light armor would suggest they are looking to fight this round. They are not willing to give up double digits to Lazarus. Quite a bit of utility utilized to defend this garage area. Tanaka taking out Aftermath on towards this C area. The smoke goes out, but it is not in time to deny those players from flooding on towards the C site. Zachary is taken out. Seth tossing the C4 on towards the smoke to deny any push through it. And Tanaka with the operator once again shutting down any retake attempt. Jackson taken out, and it is just left onto AJ and Ivo for Orgless, who will look to save this round. Zeki with the Vandal, as most of his team has bought up, will be in a very advantageous position with these gunfights on towards Orgless. Orgless not having as many good weaponry. Ivo able to swing out on towards Blackheart, but only after losing the operator. Seth finding the kill onto Ivo will shut it down, and just one gun lost over towards Lazarus, while cleaning all of the remaining weapons off from Orgless. Orgless now, with a force buy in that previous round, are in a very precarious position economically. Lazarus with double digits on the board and all of their weapons pretty much saved over from the previous round, will be hitting money cap next round, as we can see from Seth. And Orgless now in a very tough position. Ivo only opting to buy light armor and a ghost will possibly indicate a force buy, light pistol buy round from them. AJ does burn the ultimate ability, a very difficult one to utilize, and Zeki finding 2 kills through the smoke as they look for a cheeky C-long aggressive play.
Headshot.
AJ finds the head of Zeki with that ultimate. However, Orgless finding themselves in a 3-on-5 position. Map control still in their hands, as their Cypher is able to lock down the A site. Working in a very close position, will possibly be checked out over towards A. Tanaka spotting him out, will take him out. Only a shotgun in the hands of Jackson, as he will be taken out. And Orgless now on a 2-on-5 retake scenario. Their Omen all the way over towards C, despite finding a kill on the Omen at that point, will be in a very tough position. AJ does give up his location, just 61 points of health for him. Will be able to salvage these Vandals, and that is a very big thing for them. Orgless will be able to full buy in this next round, but Lazarus will hit 11, just 2 rounds away from victory. We do have a new updated ranked system with the most recent patches. All ranked games have been pushed to infinite overtimes, so win by 2, as opposed to the sudden death 12-12. Blackheart is able to find the remaining players, and Orgless, I was praising them for being able to salvage those weapons, but Lazarus, knowing that they're in a position to take those weapons away, knowing that they're going to hit money cap in the next round anyway, take those weapons away and force Orgless to buy up once again. If Lazarus is able to take this round, not only will they be on match point, but Orgless will have no money in the bank. AJ once again buying that operator up. That is a 5,500 credit investment, not taking into account all the abilities that he will invest in as well. And Orgless will not be able to buy that up in the next round if they do lose. Ivo, with the double op setup, is able to find one, and that is a must-find kill. Ivo finding a second one as Seth trades one back onto Zachary on towards this B site. Just 2 left alive for Lazarus, and it is just custom abilities. He is able to take away one of the operators, but Orgless now with 3 alive in a must-win round. Lazarus not taking enough guns away to make a significant impact on their economy, but Orgless not keeping all of them will keep this game very close. Lazarus once again able to buy up, having hit money cap in those previous rounds. And Orgless will need to win almost every single round from here on out, as they are still in a very precarious position. AJ, just with 1,000 credits, will not be able to buy up that operator and armor again if he loses it this round. So Orgless still in a good position to win these next rounds. They do have the guns. They cannot make any mistakes. And Lazarus, it looks like they're going to push over towards this seaside. Will they check out this cubby area? They will, and Seth is able to find the first kill. The 2 rocket jumps will be able to find AJ as he fires off that rocket instead. Zachary finding a kill onto Tanaka, but the trade's going over towards the side of Lazarus. Orgless are now in a 3-on-3 position, but Lazarus do have the ultimate advantage with Brimstone's ability. Very powerful at denying that defuse. Zachary is able to find one, but traded out by Lazarus once again. Custom abilities on towards long drop. The Hellfire denies that plant from going in, and does have that Molotov as well. Drops that as well. Drops the wall in addition. And that Molotov will come out, denies the plant from going down, and custom abilities from Beyond the Grave is able to find match point from him. And that is the power of Brimstone. That Molotov does more damage per second than any other ability in the game, save for Raze's explosives. And he is able to deny that defuse for so long that that shotgun kind of blast of that incendiary takes quite a while to land, but it does so much damage, and it lasts for, I believe, 8 seconds. So that, in combination with the Hellfire, is able to deny almost half of that running time of the diffuser, of that spike. And so they are able to find match point. Orgless, not carrying over any weapons, will be in a very tough position. Lazarus, with so many rounds in the bag, will be able to buy up, and this should be the first game in the bag for Lazarus. Orgless do have the opportunity to push this in towards overtime, but this is looking like a very done deal from them. Zachary with the Phantom in hand, the flashbang queued up for him, but he will fall back over towards this site. The smoke comes out from Omen as he looks to push from long. 3 members over towards this garage area, and he does teleport in towards the C site. Does find a bit of damage, but will confuse the players enough to allow the rest of the players to push on towards site. Seth finding 2 entry frags with the jet, will be taken out by AJ from behind. Blackheart trading one back. That is quite a lot of weapons to be done by that shotgun. Lazarus now in a 2-on-2 retake scenario post-plant. Sorry, Orgless now in the onus is on them. They must retake this one. And Lazarus now with 2 ultimate abilities. Knowing where that spike is, they will be able to deny that with the earthquake from the Rolling Thunder from Breach, as well as the Sova ultimate. Is able to find 2 shots on towards Jackson, but will be taken out, just not quite in time. Match point once again. Orgless, however, keep themselves on life support for one more round. It is 12-9, keeping this game very close, and just like our previous games, despite both of them going on kind of marathon runs in a row, both of these teams are very well matched. Orgless finding their step later into the half, able to adapt to the strategies of Lazarus, and Lazarus now losing a bit of control of these rounds. They're only barely able to get themselves to match point with that Hail Mary Molotov from custom abilities. But Orgless still, the opportunity is in their hands. 3 rounds to go to overtime if they're able to make this one up. AJ does not find the kill with her ultimate and instead will be taken out. Custom abilities, despite being flashed by Zachary, will take him out, and this is looking very good for Lazarus. The rocket in the hands of the Rays is able to deny that push up from Orgless on towards a site. And now just on to a 2-on-5 position. Lazarus with the abilities, with the ultimates in their hands, will be in a very advantageous position. Seth taking out Jackson and is just left onto Ivo in what was very briefly a 1-on-5 retake scenario. That aftershock coming out from Breach, denying any push up, and Wilzeki finding the final kill onto Ivo as Lazarus find their first map victory. 13-9 versus Orgless. And they looked altogether a bit more composed, especially on that defense side. Seth raking in those kills, 22 and 16. But I would have to say custom abilities, despite not being on the top of the scoreboard, did have quite the impact on that game. That utility usage, as well as that beautiful denial with that Molotov, was just impeccable. A great game from them, and hopefully indicative of a close series from them to come. So we will look to see how those teams perform on our next 2 maps. I do not know what they're going to play with on the next rounds. We have gotten Haven out of the way, so we have our 3 remaining maps to choose from: Split, Bind, and Ascent. It does look like both of these teams are very competent on towards Haven, so it'll be interesting to see who picked that map up. If this was Lazarus's map, this might have been a bit more close than they would have liked it to be. If this is Orgless's map pick, that would be very unfortunate, as Lazarus were able to take that one decently convincing towards those late stages. So we will have to wait and see what those map picks will be. We do have